Anyway, you know, I've talked pretty openly about you know, my feelings and things and how things are going for me. And I'm going to be honest, again, you know, I'm kind of in the midst of another rough patch. Things, a number of things haven't really been going my way. A number of relationships and interactions really haven't been going my way. I feel a little bit betrayed by some of my leadership, unfortunately. I won't name names because obviously, you know, anyone can see this and whatever, but I feel a little bit betrayed by some of my leaders. And I certainly, there's a couple of my key leaders that I really don't trust. And that's unfortunate. But I just got to kind of see how things play out. And, you know, it only lasts but for so long. And then eventually I'm off to somewhere new with new leaders and whatever else, you know, so it might be one of those things I just have to endure. That I don't think there's really anything to be done about it. And then, you know, unfortunately, some stuff back home isn't really going that well either. You know, it's hard, you know, just to kind of give you, I guess, a glimpse, you know, parenting through a phone is extraordinarily tough. And it's very hard. You know, it's hard to be effective, and it takes its toll on me emotionally. Because, you know, I have this feeling that when I go home, I'm going to be the bad guy, right? Because now law and order is back in the house, and it's going to be on me to kind of bring the hammer. And so, you know, me going a year without seeing, you know, any of my children, they come home and have to crack the whip, you know, none of them are going to like me very much. And that's going to be a kind of a hard thing. And so it's just, you know, it's just emotionally tumultuous, you know, to have to cope with this and know that, you know, that's what I'm faced when I go back home. So a lot of stress, a lot of fighting back and forth with home right now. So anyway, gonna head over to the gym and get a session in today. Should be a squat session. Gonna try to hit at least 425, maybe 435 for a couple sets of fives, and it should be good. So gonna get packed up, get ready, and get out the door. So here we go. All right, so made it over to the gym. Found myself a squat rack. Getting into it today. I'm considering playing with some occlusion training. Never really done it before. Heard some talk about it. So I might try a little bit of occlusion training. I got some Rogue voodoo floss I can use on one side, and then I have like a TheraBand that I can kind of double up and use. Should give me the ability to kind of occlude a little bit, so might mess around with that, see how it feels. We can talk a little bit about it on the backside, I think. But just kind of getting into the warm-up, start moving around. Feeling all right. Feeling better now that I'm here. Somehow being here always makes me less angry. I think you guys probably know how I feel. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. So, got up to working weight, calling it 435. So I have this heavy TheraBand, which I can kind of fold in half like this, and it has about the same kind of thickness or heaviness or weight of the Rogue voodoo floss. And of course this is a little bit longer. So I'm gonna try to wrap up for some occlusion, at least one set, and just see how it feels. Something I've never really played with. So let's give it a whirl. Not perfect, but we'll see how it feels. About even.
I can feel you in my heart, lost in the desert. we'll stay together. Wander forever. We'll stay together. In the night, we'll stay together. Lost in the desert. We'll stay
All right, so big difference between that second and third set is I kept the band on in between. I didn't take it off. So you can definitely feel a bit more of like that kind of an exhaustion feeling in my quads from that third set. And that's just kind of restricting the blood flow. And I don't have it on super tight, but we'll see if I'll be able to keep it on for 2 more sets. See how it feels. It's interesting. I feel kind of a mad quad pump right now, which is not normal for me with just squats. I don't start feeling that quad pump until I really get after the quads with some extensions and things like that. So if you're maybe if you're on a search for a pump and you don't have much time, you want to feel that quad pump, maybe some occlusion squats would be good. I don't know. Keep going through the workout and see how I feel about it, but not too bad so far. All right, okay guys, that's it. That's the video. Got in despite my terrible mood, and actually I think I turned things around today. I feel remarkably better than I did before I came in. Messed around with that occlusion training, first time that I've ever done that. You know, or the blood flow restriction, and I felt much more of a pump. You know, so that pumped, swollen feeling with the muscle body or muscle belly. I felt that much more prevalent, much more quickly. It was like almost like pre-exhausting the tissue. So that's kind of cool. It's kind of a unique feeling. Not something I think I'd mess with every single day, but you know, worth a go. So I got 5 sets of 5 with the 435. And then I did 1 set of 455 as a single, and that represents a new 1 rep max post injury, which is pretty cool. Haven't gone that heavy. I mean, really, it's only 15 pounds more than the 435 that I was doing for sets, but still, hey, PR's a PR, right? So got that done, and then I also used the occlusion with my my leg extensions. So I did the seated leg extension, and I wrapped the voodoo floss or the bands around my quads again there, and used that occlusion again. I did that for like 5 sets, and then I did 1 set of like a burnout with a much lower weight with the bands off, and it was a sick leg pump. So if you guys are looking for a mad leg pump, you can give that a whirl. That was definitely interesting. And really, one of the other things that turned my day around is I had an opportunity to talk with a couple of other soldiers, and just gave some quick tips on actually on deadlift. And then a soldier heard me giving these other guys some tips on deadlift, and he asked me for some tips on bench. So I was able to help some guys with their deadlift, and I was able to help another guy with his bench. Another young kid. I don't even think he's a soldier. I think he's a family member of a soldier. And it's just really cool. I really enjoy and appreciate the opportunity to try to help somebody. And of course, whenever I can give some advice or something that helps, it means the world to me, and it really makes me feel good to help improve somebody and make somebody else's lift a little bit better. Because if I can do something that makes their lift a little bit better, then they're going to enjoy it even more, and continue to push, and continue to have strength in their life. And I think that that's really cool. Again, kind of circling back around to my whole idea about inclusion and bringing people into the sport, or just into fitness in general. And I think maybe I might have earned a few new subscribers. They were asking me if I have some online presence, and they saw me doing a recording and whatnot. So they asked me what I did, and so I told them about the channel. And so, hopefully they jump onto the channel, and that'd be pretty cool. So, good opportunity to get a little bit of training in, shake the cobwebs off, get my head cleared, and then, maybe earn a few new subscribers for the channel, and that's always amazing for me too. I really appreciate that. Anyway, enough rambling on. I think I did enough of that in the beginning of the video. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them in the chat box below. I'll be sure to respond. I appreciate you guys, popping into the comments box all the time. Got all my regulars in there, and it's really nice to see all those names popping up over and over again. So if you're an individual that hasn't commented, change it up, drop a comment, say hi. Yeah, anyway guys, you can help me with those likes, the shares, and the subscribes. Appreciate you guys checking out the video. Hope this was an interesting one. I guess if for nothing else, demonstrate, sometimes you can get yourself out of a shit ass mood, by getting yourself into the gym. And I feel a lot better than I did earlier. Time to go feed myself and drink some beers, I think. And some sleep too, definitely some sleep. Thanks for checking this one out, guys. Appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Remember, no matter what it is you think you can't do, train despite. Even if you're in a shit ass mood, get up off your duff and get in the gym. You're either going to find an excuse or you're going to find a way. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.